This brand makes some of the best guitars you can get for your money. Welcome back to the mix. I'm ABD. Today we're unboxing a guitar from Eart Guitars, and they make very modern, very high quality guitars for the price. They're affordable guitars, usually about $300-400. Recently they've had more expensive models that are quite worth it, I think. They actually have some relic versions that I think look really spectacular. The way that they've done the aging on those models I think looks great. But this model and a lot of their other models are S-type and T-type guitars, and in this case we have a T-type, but it has two humbuckers. It's certainly a more modern take on a Telecaster style body. You could say it's in the style of like a Charvel. It shares a lot of similar specs with a Charvel. It has a roasted maple neck and fretboard with a pretty flat radius. It goes from 10 to 14 inches, so it starts pretty flat and it ends even flatter. And it has a tremolo, which again is unlike a Fender Telecaster. So that's enough talking about it. In this video, we'll unbox it, and then we'll have a part 2, which will be more of a deep dive and a demo of the guitar. But for now, we have a box and we have a knife, and we can open it up. So the packaging here looks great. You have your cardboard, and inside you have a very snugly fit piece, or two pieces, of styrofoam. And the guitar is sandwiched in between them, nice and snug. And so now we have the styrofoam removed from the box. You can see the Eart logo there. And then here we have some more tape to keep it together. So we'll cut that, and we can finally get a first look at the guitar. And so now we are able to separate the two pieces of styrofoam, like that. And it's packed in there, nice and tight. And the other side is form-fitting to keep it perfectly in place. All of that is great. A lot better than Squier, and sometimes even Fender. Or other big manufacturers. We have a trem bar here that has a pretty flat tip on it, but it comes with a second tip that is more bulbous, like you usually see on a Fender. Put that there. And then you have some paperwork, some actually very nice paperwork. Nice quality paper, a bunch of specs about the guitar, QR codes of their social media, information on how to set it up, a bunch of really helpful stuff. You don't really see this from other manufacturers much either. So we'll put that there. And now we can pull the guitar out. It's completely wrapped in the styrofoam-like wrapping. And we have a rubber band on top. And now the moment we have all been waiting for. There we are. This is what we have. Wrapping around these strings, which is nice, so it doesn't scratch anything up or damage anything. Little piece of tape there. Remove that. And here you have the neck, which is beautiful right away. A gorgeous roasted maple neck. A pretty dark roast on it too. And on that fretboard, you have stainless steel frets that have rounded ball edges. And really, Eart was one of the first ones that I saw to popularize putting these stainless steel ball end frets on affordable guitars. Again, this guitar usually goes for about $400, and getting stainless steel frets of this quality is pretty unheard of if you look elsewhere in the industry. And it's basically almost in tune, is it? Perfectly in tune. You have a tremolo down here, which is a dual fulcrum type tremolo. It's not the 6-screw vintage, it is two posts, which are Allen adjustable, and then you have a pop-in trem arm. These knobs are really nice. These are really cool. You don't see these on many other guitars. Then you have a switch here that helps you get into a couple different combinations with the humbuckers, which we'll talk more about in part 2. Then you have your normal 1, 2, 3-way switch here with a black tip right there. Switch down here, normal switch there. Two humbuckers, and I'm actually waiting to hear back from Eart to know if they're ceramic or Alnico 5 or 2 or whatever they might be, because they don't have that information listed on their website. If you look at both humbuckers, the pull pieces have not been adjusted yet, so I'll have to set that up. Down here, the bridge looks like it's been set up. Another great feature that you won't see, for example, on a Fender is you have the bespoke wheel, a little wheel down here to adjust the action instead of up here like Fender would usually have on the headstock. The really old Fenders, you would have to take the whole neck off and you had to adjust it on the bottom here with a screw. But now you have a wheel down there and it's really easy to get in there and change the relief of the neck. And then on the back here, beautiful, you have 4 screws that go in. There's no neck plate. They go right through. Then you have a cover on the back here. You could take that off if you don't like it. 3-ply, black, white, black. You have a cover here. We'll open it up and look at the insides. In the part 2, then you have tuners up here which are not locking, which is kind of a bummer. If they put locking tuners on there, that would be great, because the neck otherwise is amazing. The shape of the neck, they say, goes from U to C. So there's a compound shape on the back of the neck and a compound radius on the front of the fretboard. It feels like stainless steel frets for sure. They're polished and look really nice. And then this color, this finish, they have a couple different ones. It is gloss metal gold. They also have a blue and a white and a green and I think a pink. In my opinion, this is my favorite. I think the gold looks sweet. Very Charvel-like. You have the headstock here, which is Eart, which is kind of Sur-shaped. It has that kind of genie-esque type thing, kind of pointy, simple thing. I think it looks good. And then on the back, you have Eart branding on the pickups. They say it's a bone nut. It looks like it's a bone nut. And the action is good. It looks like a little less than maybe 2 millimeters. And the relief of the neck, it looks pretty straight. And in part 2, we'll go over more specific dimensions of like the neck, thickness, and shape. But my God, that neck feels amazing. And the frets feel like butter, like silk. I need a little more action. And the pickups, very quickly, just because you're wondering, just like me, how these pickups sound, we'll plug it in to a tube amp, Tubemeister 20, into a V30 speaker, and we have some pedals on the floor and a reverb pedal in the post. So you have the input jack on the side here, not on the front. If we go to the neck position with the switch down here up, here's what we get. Again, I haven't tuned it. I did not tune this guitar. It came like this. And there's not locking tuners on. Middle position. And then bridge, and then we'll tune it up. Just to give it a fair shot, we will tune it up. It was just a little flat. You can definitely feel the strings are still stretching a little bit, but that's okay. The quality of the strings actually feels nice too. I think they're 10s they put on here. So now we're in tune. Back to the neck. These pickups sound amazing. I think they're Alnico. They sound like Alnico 5, but there's a ton of punch. And clarity, high-end sparkle. These pickups sound great. The pot feels good. Lower the tone. Wow, they can get really dark. And then we can try it with some overdrive. We go to the bridge. So yeah, that was a quick demo and an unboxing, more importantly, of the guitar. A first look. What do you think? I think it sounds great and it looks great. And in part 2, we'll do some simulated amp tones and more of a deep dive. Open it up, get a closer look at it. We'll use the whammy and that sort of stuff. Take a look at the trem system and the pots and whatever else we might need to do. So until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you, Eart, and to you, play guitar. You have tuners up here which are not locking. Then you have tuners up here which are not locking. Lock. Then you have tuners up here which are not locking, which is kind of a bummer. Then you have tuners up here which are not locking.